on my own, broken alone. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air, like a blazing flare. Just stare, 'cause the flames won't burn us. You're the one for me.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm doing What If Deku Was the God of Destruction and Creation, Part 1. I'm sorry I'm not posting as frequently, recently. It's just, I've been having trouble thinking of ideas and stuff like that. Tomorrow I will not be, recording. I want to get into the thing of recording because tomorrow I'm visiting my granny, who right now has like lung cancer, a broken rib, and she's like around 94 years old, 94 and a half, I think. And right now she's not doing too well, so I'm going to be visiting her tomorrow. So while I'm there, I'm going to try and make a thumbnail for my next video. Don't know what it's going to be yet. I'll think about that on the car ride down there. But, I hope you guys do enjoy this video. Because I actually really like it. Like, I like this idea. And just know, I do not own the art I used, like, right here. Because this is art. I forgot to write down the name of the person who made it. So, yeah. But that's what Deku looks like when he's at 100%. But he never has to use it. So I just had to let you guys know that. So, we're going to start before anything was ever created. It's just black. There's nothing. So God wants to create a being that is better, stronger, more durable, and an image of himself, his core. He wants to create a being of yin and yang, basically. One of pure darkness, and the other side, and one of pure light. So God decided to create a being that whenever God called upon him, he would come. He would never sin. He would never do anything to harm God or attempt to stray from his path. A being better than his original idea for humans. So God decides to create this being and call him Deku. And he tasks Deku with creating a universe. Creating something vast. Then God decides to create Deku. When Deku is born, he creates a universe, vast, in different types of planets and stars. Planets that are beautiful, planets that aren't. Planets that are filled with water, planets that are dry. Suns that are bright, suns that are hot, suns that are cold, and even some black holes. He created a universe. When Deku opens his eyes, he sees what he had created. God puts his hand on his shoulder and says, You are the ruler of all this, under one condition, that you listen to me. Then he puts Deku in a long rest. And then God decides to create the humans on a planet called Earth. He creates land filled with greens, trees that go up to the sky, animals of all different shapes and sizes. But these people sinned. God knew it would happen, but God said, just wait for their sinning to evolve. Then, the one known as Deku shall come and teach them their manners. Then God disappeared from his favorite beings, known as the humans. No longer were they his favorite. Deku, still sleeping, like a sleeping giant, waited for his day to come. Then one day, quirks arrived to the scene with the first human who had a quirk passed down his quirk till eventually the 90% of all human life had a quirk. Or was it 99%? I think it was 99%. I'm just going to say it's 99%. And then 99% of all of humanity had quirks. That's when God put his hand on the sleeping Deku and said, "Awake, my son." Deku awoke in pure darkness. The only light was him. Now we're going to go down to Earth at a NASA headquarters. The captain says, one of the guards that was watching, the thing that's, looking for meteors and all that, says to his captain, "Sir, a black hole just appeared out of nowhere, and there's some kind of light in the middle. It's heading straight towards Earth." And the captain says, "What do you mean? How is there a black hole has never come this close to Earth?" And then the guard says, "Wait, the black hole just disappeared. What happened to it?" The captain looks at the screen as he searches and searches. He doesn't see the black hole that he had just saw. But a hurtling meteor is heading straight towards Earth. They immediately call up the president, and they tell the president that there's a meteor heading towards Earth. The president asks if it is a dangerous one, and they say no, but it could do lots of damage. And the president says, "How much damage?" And then they say that it could create a hole maybe 5 times smaller than the Gulf of Mexico. And then the president asks where it's going to land. And they say, "Japan, sir." Then Deku hits the Earth, causing the Earth to shake like it's never shaken before. Category 3 or 4 earthquakes hit every country on the planet. 911, all emergency services are having a field day with all of the emergencies that's going on right now. Several volcanoes have erupted. Then, at the end of it, life sprouts everywhere. Beautiful flowers, humongous grasslands have spawned within the parts that got worst hit. And where the meteor hit, in the middle lies a child, crying and crying, in a bed or a little a crib of flowers. A woman sees this, who had just came out of a public bunker. She sees the child and immediately rushes down there and picks him up as she starts to comfort him. Her husband comes up to her and asks, "How is this baby still alive? Where's the meteor? What happened here?" And then the woman says, "It's a miracle. But where'd this crib come from? There's no way this could just spawn, could it? A crib made out of flowers?" Then Deku starts to giggle. And then the husband says, "Inko, we have to take him to somewhere. He's probably injured. We can't keep him." Then Inko says, "It doesn't matter. I'm keeping him. And I will name him Izuku." And then the husband says, "I can barely afford us. How are we going to afford another one? I'm going to have to work overseas." Inko looks over at him and says, "We can't just put him in adoption care. He'll get beat up. He'll be raised the wrong way. No, I won't allow it." So they take Deku in. And for years, he would be raised by Inko as basically a single mother because her husband would always be overseas working to make sure that they have food and a shelter. So when Deku's 4, I'm going to say, well, basically, Deku goes to the quirk doctor. And this is what happens. So the quirk doctor says, "I'm sorry, ma'am, but your son does not have a quirk, unfortunately." And then Inko says, "What? What do you mean he doesn't have a quirk?" And the quirk doctor says, "Well, normally the child would inherit the mother or father's quirk, but because he is adopted, unfortunately, he didn't take either of your quirks, and we still can't find his mother or father. He literally has no DNA. He has his DNA, but he has no family tree. It's only him. It's like Adam and Eve, basically. They had no one before them. It was just them. This kid he shouldn't have been born. He just poofed out of thin air. Boom, there's a child. There was no mother or father involved. It's just him." Inko recalls the day she found Deku in the crib of flowers in the middle of a giant crater. She asks the quirk doctor what his joint looks like, and the quirk doctor says the joint resembles that of older humans. It isn't nowadays joints. These are old joints, and I mean old joints. They don't resemble any joints I've seen in my days of being a quirk doctor. He's special in a way. So then Deku gets really angry. The building starts to shake and shake as Deku's eyes turn to black, and black lightning starts to sprout around him. Deku sits up, and without even moving, he's right in front of the quirk doctor. And as a 4-year-old, he's the size of a grown man. He grabs the doctor by his neck and lifts him up. He says, "What did you say? Don't forget my name, Deku." As he throws the quirk doctor with so much strength that it blows him in pieces, and the wind pressure behind the throw breaks through the wall behind the quirk doctor. Inko screams as Deku snaps out of it and falls onto the ground. Just looking around, he sees the blood of the quirk doctor. The tiny pieces of clothing stranded around everywhere. And the fact that the wall that was right in front of them is now gone. As fire engines, ambulances, all that started arriving. Because someone called the police after they thought someone planted a bomb and destroyed the wall because it was just gone. And all the windows in the building had been shattered. And at the very bottom of the floor, there were cracks in the walls. And when the police get there, everyone in the building reported hearing screams and an earthquake. A really bad earthquake hit the building. Then when the police say, "Ma'am, there wasn't an earthquake on our charts," they gasp and start swearing that they were in the middle of a horrible, horrible earthquake. And the police officer's like, "Ma'am, have you been taking anything?" as he flashes a light in her eyes. Everyone in the building recalled the same event. They heard screaming, and a bad earthquake had hit, and all the windows shattered. Then Inko. Back to the place. Deku starts to cry, as this doctor had been his doctor for many, many years. And Deku was just he was saddened. One of his tears drops onto the ground. Then the doctor starts to reform as a wall of flowers appears, replacing the original wall, and flowers just covered the entire building. As the doctor goes from only blood to bones, like a skeleton, to muscles and skeleton, to a full body in mere seconds. Inko is dumbfounded on how Deku did this without a quirk. She immediately thinks that their technology is faulty. But when Deku goes in to hug The quirk doctor screams, grabs a towel from a nearby rack, wraps it around, and runs out of the room, scared for his life. Deku is really sad, but he knows he has a quirk, and he won't let it get him down. Then the small pieces of white lightning that were consuming him disappears as his eyes turn back to normal. Deku then... Well, now I think I'm going to skip a couple years in the future. Bakugo has been bullying him for not having a quirk. Till one day, it gets bad. So one day, Deku is just playing with his toys at the park, while Inko is talking with some of the parents. Then Bakugo shows up. He grabs Deku's toy and destroys it. Deku stands up and asks why he did that, but then Bakugo punches him, and then blows his face up. Deku falls on the ground. Any normal kid, that would have killed him. But Bakugo looks down at his face. That's mere flesh right now. From how badly the burns, from how bad he hit him with his explosion. Deku starts to regenerate. His horribly burned face turns back to normal. But Deku is having none of that. His eyes turn to black as he does some exorcist type crap and sits up without even moving his legs. He just kind of sits up without even moving. He just kind of floats up. Like in a second, he's already up, looking Bakugo in the eyes. Bakugo says, "How dare you get back up, you dang nerd!" And he blows Deku's face up again. But Deku didn't even flinch. And it didn't even leave a mark on him. Just a little bit of dust. Deku says, "My turn." As he punches Bakugo, in the stomach, blasting Bakugo into little bitty pieces. And the pressure from the punch blows Bakugo up, but then it destroys the atmosphere. The punch was so strong, it not only blew Bakugo like a balloon with water in it, just popped him, but it also destroyed the atmosphere, blowing a humongous hole in the atmosphere. Then the black lightning and black eyes go away. Then Deku sits down as the very earth starts to crumble from the atmosphere being destroyed. Deku starts to cry at the fact that he killed Kachan, and his mom is probably gonna die because of what he did. He starts to cry and cry and cry. Then Deku just feels a warmth around him. Like that feeling you get when your mom hugs you. The feeling you get when, you're all cozied up in bed next to a nice fire. The feeling when you get when life is given to you. Deku's eyes turn to white. White and gold mixed together as yellow golden lightning starts to sprout around him as he repairs the earth. The atmosphere is immediately shut, and the atmosphere is back to normal. The earth starts to get healed. Bakugo is now being regenerated. Everything is going back to normal. Within mere seconds, Bakugo is back to life. The atmosphere is fixed. The earth is fixed. Bakugo, as soon as he opens his eyes, screams and starts crawling away from Deku, who's trying to say he's sorry to him. Bakugo says, "Don't come close to me! You monster! You could have killed everyone here! You quirkless loser! I don't know how you did that! You almost killed me! Wait, you did kill me! Leave me alone! Villain!" As he gets up, grabs one of his friend's shirts and wraps it around his waist as he runs away. Deku is really hurt by this, but it doesn't shake him. So now we're going to skip to the end of middle school. Bakugo is still scared of Deku. Like, he's scared of Deku. The teacher says, "Alright, it's time to decide what you guys are going to do with your lives. I know a lot of strange things have happened in the past couple of years, but I already know that what you guys want to become in order to stop these occurrences. You all want to become heroes, don't you?" As everyone starts screaming and using their quirks, as Deku snaps, and all their quirks are like canceled out. They all wonder what happened to their quirks. And then Deku puts his finger up to his lips and goes, "Shh." The teacher wonders what just happened, but he ignores it and throws the papers up in the air and says, "Who cares? I know you all want to be heroes." Deku stands up and says, "Sir, it's not very, well, how do I put it? What's the word I'm looking for? Good. Whatever. It's not very good of you to throw those papers up in the air like that." As Deku snaps, and they're all back on the table with a nice flower on each one. Deku smiles and says, "Don't make a mess like that." And he sits back down. Bakugo is really shaken up by this, and he doesn't even say anything. So class ends, and Deku's walking home when Bakugo walks up to him. One of Deku's eyes turns black as Deku senses murderous intent from Bakugo. Deku immediately creates spikes in the ground, like creates a spike cage for Bakugo. And Deku asks, "What do you want, Bakugo?" Bakugo's literally peeing his pants right now as he says, I'm sorry. I just wanted to get this off my chest. I wanted to beat you in a battle, but obviously I can't. Please let me go." As the other eye turns golden, as Deku smiles and says, "It's alright, Bakugo." And then Deku's smile turns upside down and he says, "No, I'll kill you right now." And then Deku puts on another smile and says, No, I won't." And then he does stop smiling and says, "I'll kill him." And then Deku's eyes turn golden again. "No, you won't." And it just keeps going back and forth until Deku cuts the power out and says, "Neither of you will do anything." As the spikes recede back into the ground where they came from. Bakugo screams and runs away. As Deku looks ahead at the shortcut area. Sorry, right now I'm just a little bit I can't think properly right now. So sorry if I keep stuttering. So Deku looks up at the shortcut and he sees the sludge villain looking around. Deku starts to walk up there with his eyes blackened. The sludge villain sees Deku and says, "Oh, thank goodness, a hostage. Gosh dang, you'll be useful." But then the sludge villain feels an intense, throbbing pain, agonizing pain in his chest, what his chest would be. And he starts to scream in agony, and he screams and screams, and he's wondering why this is happening. And he looks back at Deku, and Deku says, "You're just a sinner, aren't you?" And the sludge villain screams as he pops. Like he just pops. Then Deku says, "There's no need for anyone like you around here." As Deku starts walking, then All Might arrives, saying, "I am..." Oh, what happened here? Oh, this is disgusting. Is that the sludge villain? Not even I could survive that. As he's just looking at the sludge villain that's just strangled everywhere. Then Deku turns around to see All Might. His eyes immediately turn to golden as he doesn't even move, but he's in front of All Might. And he just starts going, "Can I have your autograph? Can I please have your autograph? Please, 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 can I have your autograph? Please, 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 please." And All Might is like, "What can you... Please, 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 give me your autograph. Please, 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 please." And All Might asks, "What happened here?" And then one of Deku's eyes turns black as Deku says, "You don't raise your voice at a god." As Deku's that eye turns golden again, and Deku keeps going, "Can you sign my autograph? Please, 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 please." And then, All Might is going in slow motion. He signs the autograph. And then Deku says, "Wow, thank you." And then All Might's like, "Wait, how did you see me do that?" And Deku says, "Do what? You just moved really slowly." And then All Might asks again, "What happened here? Please tell me, what happened here?" And then Deku says, "Oh, what happened here? Oh, that guy sinned a lot. He's killed a lot of people. And God told me to kill him, to bring him to hell. And that's what I did." And All Might says, "You spoke to God?" And Deku says, "Yeah, why wouldn't I have? I'm his son, after all." All Might feels kind of creeped out by this, but sees the kid has potential. And he says, "Well, I'm gonna get some people down here to collect the sludge villain, or what's left of him. I'm going to let you off with a warning for killing this guy. And yeah, I gotta get going." Then Deku's eyes turn back to normal, and he says, "Wait! Can I be a hero without a quirk? And then All Might says, of course you can, boy. I see potential in you. And if that's just your pure willpower, I'm sure you can make an excellent hero without a quirk. Because if you did do that, then there's no doubt in my mind that you will become the #1 hero. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where I'm going to leave this episode off here. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. And while you're at it, United States of, smash the bell icon to be notified when I post a new video. So yeah, I would like to apologize for my stuttering. I didn't mean to stutter so much, but I hope you guys still enjoyed it anyways. So yeah, I'm going to try to get back to posting, but just know there will not be a video tomorrow. Or at least I don't think I will make one tomorrow. But yeah, peace out.